Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have a couple things to discuss with you in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. Is that the longest one yet? Is anybody time? Somebody needs to create a spreadsheet and let me know when I convey the longest Hot Jams for this Moon Lambo channel. So what are we talking about today? Well, here's a headline from you today. 270 million XRP shifted by top crypto exchanges as Ripple keeps moving XRP to China. And indeed, on a daily basis, we're talking about millions of XRP to Chinese, Huobi, which is founded in China anyway. They actually have offices around the world, including now in the United States. So I'll talk about that in a second. But also, could we talk about XRP and the bubble that's forming around it and the rest of the crypto asset class? Because I don't know about you, but it seems to me that the word bubble is treated as a dirty word, and that really steams my vegetables, because I don't think that it is. I'm here for the inflation of the bubble. I absolutely am. And I got a comment from Goldbug Peter Schiff that got me thinking along these lines. So plenty to unpack here, but before I go any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who likes to make hot jams all up on the YouTubes. Bring your toast, everybody. So take a look at this. I don't want to read this whole article. Just this bottom portion here in particular is what has caught my attention. A little subheading here. Ripple sends another XRP stash to Huobi. Because mind you, actually, let's make sure we got the table set before I go any further. Ripple has publicly stated that they only offer XRP. They only sell XRP to key strategic partners. And I will tell you right now, at least to my knowledge, and I'm always willing to be proven wrong if you've got some data, because I don't pretend to know everything, but I'll tell you what, before the SEC went after Ripple in December, you did not see this stuff. You did not see these massive movements of XRP from Ripple to Huobi. You didn't. This is a newer development here. And XRP has only been sold as a small percentage of the total overall, just a global volume of XRP. But in addition to that, again, only two key partners, right? And so this is interesting. And it reads as follows. The fintech decacorn continues sending its daily regular XRP portions to Huobi, the biggest crypto trader in China. Since June 6, daily amounts of XRP sent to Huobi by the company have been, I'll just round the number, 5.2 million coins. And before that, for the week prior to that, it was 6.6 million XRP per day for the week, right? And so, hold on, I want to make sure I didn't miss something. But check this out. Ripple has been doing this for several months already, and there's no particular reasons for these transfers that have been voiced yet. So all we can do is sit here and wonder, and I have been wondering, how many of you saw a video I recently put out where I was covering information from Ripple, specifically their legal team, about how their business model has been harmed by the SEC coming after them, claiming that XRP is being sold as a security, and has been for the better part of a decade to this point. Because frankly, what's happening, and this is the first we heard from Ripple about this, and it was within the last several days or so, but it has basically shut down their business in the United States. The portion, though, but just the portion that utilizes on-demand liquidity. Liquidity in the United States is all but dead. You know, you got like 3 exchanges in the United States that allow the trading of XRP. And you need that liquidity in order for Ripple's product to work. So in order for XRP to be used as a bridge currency, the exchanges need to be the market makers. They need to be the place where this is all happening. And so most of the flows through the big corridors, the 2 biggest ones, came from Bitstamp. So Bitstamp to Bitso in Mexico, and then Bitstamp to coins.ph in the Philippines. And so that's dead. Right, not forever, but for now it's dead here. And so Ripple could run on-demand liquidity through Bitrue or Uphold, for example, because they're still allowing the trading of XRP, but they don't have a relationship there. And I don't know the reasons for that. Of course, we're not privy to that. I'm sure that Ripple's tried to talk to every crypto exchange on the freaking planet by this point in time. But here we have them sending XRP specifically to Huobi, and I just kind of caught my attention. So I didn't know much at all about them. It's just one of those names you see just being in the crypto space. They pop up from time to time. Yeah, Huobi, China-based cryptocurrency exchange, or at least that's where they were founded. But they've got offices all over the world. And I didn't even know that they had an office in the United States until I started researching before recording this video. And I came across this headline from Yahoo Finance from December 22nd of last year, which, by the way, just I'm not saying this means anything, but coincidentally, is December 22nd, 2020, which is the day that the SEC filed their complaint against Ripple, claiming that XRP was sold as a security. Happens to be the same date, but whatever. But here's the headline: Huobi crypto exchange returning to United States after winning Nevada trust license. And so, having read through this article, it really is just basically, I guess they're kind of like wading into the water, but it seems like right now all they're going to be doing is offering custody effectively. But if XRP is getting sent to Huobi, and they've, by the way, voiced in this article too, they're planning to come back to the United States in full force, because they actually were here a year prior, but they left due to compliance issues. And I don't know that they were actually allowing trading at that point either. I didn't see that information. But it looks to me like they want to actually jump in and tackle the United States market. And they're not available today. I went to Huobi's website to see if I could sign up, and United States just isn't even an option. So you can't. Which is what I thought was the case. I just wanted to make sure before recording this video. But here you have Ripple sending millions of XRP per day to this exchange that they're not partnered with, when what they publicly stated is that they only send XRP to key partners. I don't know. I'm just sharing with you what I found here. Could be something, or maybe it's a big nothing. But if it's a big nothing, why is XRP being sold to them? Like, what is going on there? I don't know. That's why I'm thinking it's probably something, right? I mean, are they going to come to the United States? Would they potentially be an on-demand liquidity partner? Is it like a backup plan in case we don't get Bitstamp and Bittrex back anytime soon? I don't know. If you guys know anything, because again, I don't pretend to know everything, please drop a comment below. I am legitimately interested, but I couldn't find anything else on this. So maybe it's just one of those things where picking up some breadcrumbs and eventually some news breaks. We're like, oh, okay, now we filled in the pieces. All right, to the next topic. Goldbug Peter Schiff. Oh, that lovable Goldbug Peter Schiff. I'm not sure he likes being called that. Peter Schiff's favorite thing to do, oh my God, the Goldbug Peter Schiff. He loves to sell his yellow rocks. He loves to sell the yellow rocks. And I know they're metal, but it's funnier to say yellow rocks. So here's what he tweeted out, though. In a recent Bank of America survey of professional investors, 75% regarded Bitcoin as a bubble, and only 10% expect it to outperform stocks. Yet nearly 100% of the guests on CNBC invites on to discuss Bitcoin are bullish. CNBC's biased reporting deliberately misleads its audience. Now, look, the last part, I can't really speak to that. I don't watch CNBC. I see clips from time to time, so I'm aware of it when XRP or Bitcoin, whatever's talked about in the news in any sort of meaningful way. So if they've got a bias to the positive for Bitcoin, okay, but I'll say this. When there's happy times in crypto, you generally see that from mainstream media anyway. And then when things are dire and we're in a bear market, then you get the exact opposite narrative from them. That's been my actual real world experience in this. So maybe it's true, but that's probably true of mainstream media in general. So I don't even know that it's something that they're intentionally doing, if they are. But what about this bubble talk right here? So again, Bank of America survey of professional investors, 75% regarded Bitcoin as a bubble, and only 10% expect it to outperform stocks. Yes, Peter, it is in a bubble. Why is that supposed to be a bad thing? Look at this. Look at the tone of this tweet. This is designed to be a bad, scary thing. And so I looked this up. I like, we all know what bubbles are, but just so I could read this, I typed into Google, what causes a bubble? And of course, Investopedia popped up, as is always the case. And I have to tell you, it's something I've been saying on the channel forever. Like, bubbles are to be expected. They occur in markets naturally. But what Peter wants you to believe is that because something is a bubble, He wants this idea, and a lot of people do think this actually, that that means that it's something that is going to pop and go away forever and everybody loses money. That's the scary thing that he wants people to think right here. And mind you, as I cover this, I think that an XRP bubble is also inflating. I think it's going to be massive, but that's what I'm here for. I'll talk more about that in a second, but look at what is written here about bubbles on Investopedia. Bubbles occur when prices for a particular item rise far above the item's real value. Examples include houses, internet stocks, gold, or even tulip bulbs or baseball cards. Sooner or later, the high prices become unsustainable and they fall dramatically until the item is valued at or even below its true worth. And so let's talk about the ones that go away. For instance, they cite tulip bulbs. We're all familiar with tulip mania, right? If not, I'm not going to describe it in this video, but if you type in tulip mania, you'll see what I'm talking about. Effectively, tulip bulbs had outrageous prices, like a tulip bulb was worth like a house at one point, like hundreds of years ago. Didn't last, that was stupid. The bubble popped and it did go to zero, right? Other than like what the, okay, fine, technically, is a tulip bulb worth anything now? Would be like a fraction of a penny? I don't know. I'm not in the market if so. I'm just saying it effectively went to zero. So that's what he's saying is going to happen to Bitcoin, which I think is complete nonsense. Well, more precisely, I don't think that the crypto asset class will go to zero, and I find it unlikely Bitcoin's going to zero. But even if it does, crypto's not going away because there's too much utility to be had. And there's no sign that's going to happen anytime soon, if ever. Just to be clear, that's my stance on this. I'm just reserving like a small percentage of maybe what if. That's all I'm saying there. Because Bitcoin hasn't been sufficiently tested. I'm sorry, I don't want to digress any further than that. I've already done enough. So anyway, bubbles occur when prices for particular items rise above the item's real value. And so what you need to be aware of is that bubbles inflate in every asset class. So yes, even precious metals, even gold, there have been gold bubbles, internet stocks, houses. Just because something's in a bubble now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be a solid investment for the long haul. You know, and consider this, even if you were so unlucky to purchase the top of every Bitcoin bubble that's ever existed, so think 2013 and 2017, if you bought the tippy top, if you held, then, and it did take years, but if you held, then the next high made you a lot of money. And I don't know that we've seen the high this market cycle for Bitcoin. I'm not convinced we have. But think about the high last market cycle of almost $20,000 for Bitcoin, and we just saw it go to 65 grand basically. And a year ago, Peter Schiff, he was saying a year ago that, Bitcoin, yeah, I don't believe there's almost no chance that Bitcoin's going to go above its previous all-time high of 20 grand. Well, it went to 65. He's got a strong bias against it. His rationale for why the crypto asset class doesn't make sense and shouldn't be here, I don't think it's logical. But diversity of thought's fine. I think he's being genuine, probably, but I just think he's wrong. And so I'm here for the bubble to inflate, because understand, like, the whole purpose of investing is volatility. Volatility itself is not bad. If there were no volatility in whatever you're putting money in, why are you even doing that? If you want it to go up, you need volatility to exist, and nothing goes up in a straight line. And so for me, the more volatile, the better. Like bubbles getting formed every several years or so in crypto, awesome, sign me up. That's what I want. Let's get these cycles churning and burning here. And this has been what I've been wanting the whole time, to buy low, wait for the bubble to inflate, and then as it begins to inflate, sell on the way to the top, and then let it pop and crash 70, 80, 90%, and then invest again, because that is what I expect to happen. And I could be wrong, but I firmly believe that to be the case. I happen to have strong conviction. And so I just want to be clear, like, this is not a dirty word. Saying that XRP is forming a bubble now, or in a bubble now, or that it's going to be a massive bubble, like, that's not a bad thing. That is exactly what I want. I'd be pissed off if that didn't happen. I'd be like, you're telling me I've been here 3.5 years and XRP isn't even going to wildly inflate? Of course I want it to inflate. I want that massive bubble. That is what I'm counting on. Because we're all betting. So my bet is that the price is going to ramp up. And to me, that will indicate that it's time to reduce my exposure to XRP by selling a bunch of it, if not all of it. And other people will be betting against me that it's going to go much higher. And we will see who is right. Because I think that it, along with the rest of the crypto asset class, after the bubble inflates, it's going to have a massive pop. And so we all get to bet. That's the open market. We get to bet against each other. I could be wrong. Whoever's betting against me could be wrong. And we'll see. But either way, this is not some sort of dirty term, and I personally want tremendous volatility. And then there was this. I'm going to be brief on this one, but here's a tweet from Anthony Pompliano. The Fed's balance sheet and the S&P 500 both hit all-time highs on the exact same day. You can't make this stuff up. And so that's his tweet. That is astonishing to me. And so here's a tweet from Mr. Whale, at Crypto Whale, who shared this with his 234,000 followers on Twitter. Federal Reserve balance sheet tops $8 trillion for the first time in history. And so to be clear, when we're talking about the balance sheet, it's a sheet with the United States assets and liabilities, right? So $8 trillion, first time in history. And then you look at this is the U.S. debt clock, and the actual national debt, though, and I'll round this, is at $28.3 trillion with a T. Like this, you think this is going to end well? I mean, here, I'll pull it back up. Look, this is disgusting. It's like roughly every second, there's a new $100,000 worth of debt. Roughly every second, $100,000. I mean, you can see it. It's on the screen right here where I'm circling in the top left. It's crazy. It's absolutely bonkers. So this is what we're working with right here. And this does make the case for crypto, and it is big picture going to make more money flow into the space. Doesn't mean that there won't be market cycles. I still firmly, of course, market cycles are a thing. That's not going away. But this will get more people's attention and more participants in the space to throw their money in and be part of the market cycle. That's what I'm saying right here. But that is astonishing. And so you can think about all of the tremendous amount of money being spent here. You can think about inflation up, as it seems to clearly be the case across the board. Everything's more expensive. You've got this like perfect storm of nonsense, and the dollar being debased, printed into oblivion. Like there are so many reasons that crypto is never going to go away, and I don't talk about these ones as much on this channel, but I do believe that they're important to understand, and they contribute to all of this in meaningful ways. I usually just talk about the fact that businesses can exist that otherwise couldn't exist thanks to decentralized cryptocurrencies. Like for me, that makes it the most clear. But the rest of this stuff, yeah, add it on the pile, man, for sure. This is crazy. And so for all of this to happen, it just happened today. The Fed's balance sheet and the S&P 500 both hit all-time highs on the exact same day. How is it that economic output goes down and the S&P 500 hits its all-time high? Well, because these things are not connected. They're not actually connected. People think they are, I think, and they're really not so much. Not really. It's not about the economic output. You got to put your money somewhere, right? And it's flowing into here. But my gosh, I mean, it's provably the case. If you look over what's happened, especially over the last year, my gosh, economic output being what it has been, and then endless spending, which means the debasement of the United States dollar. These things, my gosh. It sounds weird, but it actually makes sense that this is happening because the money flowing in the stock market, it's not as much about fundamentals. It really isn't. Like, take this point home. Like, it's extra the case that fundamentals don't matter in crypto because this asset class is in its nascency. But trading in general, it's more so about human psychology, and just that could not be more clear here, right? Hopefully, I don't even have to pitch that very hard, that concept. The economic output has not been there and still climbing. This doesn't end well, my friends. I'm glad I'm in crypto, just saying. Let me know what you think below, though. I'll wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.